Hello, I'm Gary Crowley of garycrowley.com, where I teach a self-healing mastery course for anyone and everyone who wants to tap into their body's natural self-healing abilities that we tend to forget about in our world of modern medicine, trying to do everything for you when most of it's already inside you. So that's what I do. How I met Jen, I went to a Kajabi website live seminar in Irvine, California, and Jen and I are both within driving distance. So we went there, and I am one of the people who sit in the front row, in the center of the front row, because I don't want to miss anything. And all other good people do that. And so Jen sat right next to me because she's obviously a good person because she sits in the front row, in the center of the front row. And she sat next to me for an entire day and was kind enough to laugh at all my jokes. Then I found out she runs masterminds, and I basically signed up. I think it was the next week because you put a little email out to the people at our table and a few others, I think, that had gotten to know you. And next thing you know, I was in a mastermind. So before the mastermind, I was taking big steps into kind of a whole new business. It's, I've been doing this stuff for 30 years, but joining Kajabi and trying to do this online and putting out a course online, which I'd, always wanted to do it, but I'd never done it. And so I was learning Kajabi. I was trying to put this course together, and I was a little, honestly, I was a little overwhelmed. I was fine emotionally, but I was kind of a little bit directionless. And what the mastermind helped me do was kind of go, no, here's a good way to, here's a good direction to aim at the beginning, and here's some things to progress with. And next thing you know, at the end of 5 weeks, while there's always more to learn, and I'm pretty comfortable with just walking forward into my online business. So it's been very, very, very helpful. I think Jen and the other people that were in the mastermind, I tend to be a healer type who tends to overgive and get underpaid because, you just want to help people. And I don't know, do we really want to ask them for money? I mean, I just want to help people. And so even with the best example was I put together this whole free mini course that I tell people online, it's a $300 value. And it basically helps people do what used to take me an hour in a private session. I get to give it to them free on a video so that then when we have our session, we're just ready to go, right? Because they understand the basics. And Jen specifically, who went out of her way to watch my whole course, basically said, so Gary, what's your call to action? And I'm like, so I shouldn't just give them everything and not let them know that I'm available for private sessions. And I would actually encourage you to get private sessions because I can actually really help you with some of your health issues or preventing health issues. And I think just the general, look, you're running a business. Here's some basic things that you're a little blind to or a little uncomfortable doing that. And then putting your toe in the water and going, no, it's fine. This is what we're doing. We're actually running a business. So for me, that was extremely helpful at a level that I could completely digest. And it wasn't like feeling like I was, stepping way out of my comfort zone. I was like, no, let's do this. And then here I am. I did. Well, actually, my joke to all the lovely people in the mastermind was they didn't know this, but being accountable to the 5 or 6 other people in the mastermind, because I said I would have this done by the next Monday. And they didn't know it, but they all had their whip out, during the week when I just wanted to, sit down and watch YouTube videos or whatever I do when I should be working. And it really did help motivate me to go, no, I said I'm going to do this, and these are real people that I said this to, that I would have to say, no, I didn't get it done if I did, and everyone was perfectly nice about it. But I started it, and thankfully with the gentle accountability from the mastermind, I got 2 or 3 times as much done as I probably would have without them. So it was extremely helpful. I would say, especially with you, with the magnificent Jen, I would say you allow the people to, you're doing as much as you're comfortable with and committing to what you're comfortable with, but there's a nice nudge to get you out there past what you would probably, get done or consider doing without, you and the other people in the group kind of going, no, what, or seeing things the other thing is, even the other people in our group, like it's, and I have this in my course, but I love the expression, it's hard to read the label from inside the bottle. And, with listening to the other people in the mastermind talk, and then them listening to me talk, and, other people will go, have you noticed this really obvious thing about you and your business that you apparently have been missing this whole time? And then, like I told you about changing my domain name from the longest domain name in the known universe to, now GaryCrowley.com. And I kind of threw that out there to the group, and, it was a few weeks in, and like unanimously, immediately everyone went, yes, Gary, that's a very good idea. Like, we've only been kind of nudging you to do that for 3 weeks. And it was just, I could finally go, that allowed me to be extremely comfortable with, the day that session was over. It's like, okay, I have to change my domain now, because now I can see it. And before, I was hemming and hawing, and the group pointing out the obvious, is extremely helpful, because it's not obvious when you're trying to read the label from inside the bottle. Any solopreneur you're trying to do it all, and you're doing as much as you can, but you could really everyone could benefit from someone else's perspective, and 5 or 6 people's perspective is even better. Because what was interesting is, while you have a lot of wisdom and a lot of insight, it's like some people, like Mary Rose in our group, like she said 1 or 2 things. We were at kind of a beginning level of our internet businesses, and she said 1 or 2 things for me that went, oh yeah, I need to do that. Oh, because I'm there, and other people are, well, but everyone would give their input, and then some of them were like, oh, I wouldn't have gotten that without, all 6 people in the group kind of pointing out their little things. And, some resonate more than others, but some really resonate. And I think it's a rare and difficult thing to get if you're not in a mastermind, because you're not going to get it from your spouse, because you have your spouse filter on and you can't hear anything they say, It's like, yeah. And then someone in the mastermind might even say the same thing, and you go, that's brilliant. Solopreneur, especially, anyone who isn't around enough people to get honest feedback. Okay, even if you're paying someone for their opinion, and their livelihood is dependent on you liking them, well, you might also not be getting the most brutally honest opinion. Where the people in the mastermind they can just be honest. So I think that they don't have to worry about losing their job. I would just say I really, really appreciate the level you met each person with. Like, I think your gift was meeting people where they are and seeing where they are, and then nudging them. Everybody's a little different, knowing their nudge factor, how much, you can kick me pretty hard, but some people don't, or even on a given week, right? People are like, look, I've had it. Okay, so we're going to nudge you this much this week, but next week, because you're back again after you're busy, I'm going to nudge you a little more. And I think your gift was kind of knowing that and helping, kind of maximizing the amount you can help someone with where they are in any given moment, which I do think is a gift. And I think you have that gift. So I appreciate it. So my advice is, don't hesitate. Sign up with Jen today for whatever she's doing. because she's awesome and she's worth it, and you'll be glad you did.